something's coming up. There's something is always coming up. A purge, a growth, a sadness, and we move through the pain and we transition. Today I have a special guest with me, and I'm so happy she's here. I call her my friend, my childhood friend. I've always been amazed by her growth, her transitions, and how she's never given up no matter what. So today, I welcome Pauldon. Kimberly Pauldon.
Kimberly, only when I'm in trouble.
Only when you're in trouble. So Kim Pauldon. So the reason I decided that I wanted to interview you, I've shared with this with you before, and I've shared it with other people, how proud I am of you. From all the obstacles that came in your way, you never gave up. So even when I'm in my darkest moments, and sometimes when I feel like throwing in the towel, I do reflect back to all you've been through, and never once have I heard you say, I can't do this no more. You kept pushing through. So it inspires me, and I want you to share a little bit about your background first, so that they can see where you started and where it transitioned to where we are now in your beautiful home. But we'll tell them how you start, how this became you now. So give them a little bit of background about your schooling, about your family, and then we'll move forward.
Okay, so this is a real 360 because, well, is it a 360 or is it a 720? Because I say that because I was raised in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Okay.
Right? In the 7th grade, moved to Tracy Towers where I met you.
Okay. 7th grade.
7th
We're
grade.
aging ourselves a little.
Right?
A little.
A little.
Okay.
Fast forward 40 plus years of me living in the Bronx, now back to Jersey.
And there you go.
There I
There's
go.
the cycle.
Right.
Tell me about, so when I met you in Tracy Towers, at the time I know you lived with your dad.
I lived with my dad.
So give me some of the background as to when you moved to Tracy Towers, and then when you transitioned out of Tracy Towers and lived on your own, and a little bit about your school. We went to high school together as well. Kennedy High School.
Kennedy.
Okay.
Golden Knights. Right.
Okay.
So how I moved to Tracy Towers from Teaneck originally is that my parents divorced.
Okay.
And my mom bought a new house down in South Jersey.
Okay.
And neither my brother John, my sister Joyce, or I wanted to live in South Jersey.
Okay.
Right? So me being a daddy's girl and the youngest, I went to live with my dad first.
Okay.
And that's how.
Was he already in Tracy Towers?
He moved there at the divorce.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's where he landed.
So no, and this is new to me too, because I thought you moved in with him.
No, he was
Like
there.
you moved to get. See, I'm learning too. So
Yeah, that's why it was a 1-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
So my dad had moved, from the house. He moved there by himself, just him. And then I came, and then eventually my sister came, and then my brother came, because nobody wanted to live in South Jersey. There was nobody
No
there.
offense to my South Jersey people.
No offense to South Jersey.
It wasn't popping down there.
It wasn't popping. And the neighborhood was not accepting of my mom.
Okay. Okay.
Because she was, moved into a Caucasian neighborhood. In Teaneck, see, here in Teaneck, is segregated. Teaneck is divided by the highway and actual train tracks. So it's like, what side of the train tracks?
What side of the tracks do you live on? We're doing
That's
that again.
real.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you lived on this side of the train tracks and this side of the highway, that was the black square.
So everybody that I know said Teaneck, that's where they live.
That's where they live.
Okay.
Unless they had a lot more money. And a few was sprinkled on the other side, not many.
Okay.
On the other side, that's where all the doctors from the hospital and everything live.
Okay.
Right?
Now I know.
Right. So I'm part of the busing era.
Okay.
In Teaneck, the schools were segregated like the neighborhood.
What year are we talking?
We're talking in the 70s.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So almost all the black children, there's only 2 junior high schools and 1 high school in Teaneck. All the kids go to 1 high school. Then they split up between the 2 middle schools and then several other elementary schools. So all the elementary schools were extremely segregated. Because if you lived over here, that's where your elementary school was.
Okay.
Right? So we got bused where we had to start going like to the other side of Teaneck, some people, and then some of the people from the other side of Teaneck had to come to our side. And that's how that went. So then when my mom was like moving, and you get used to that level of racism, right? I had a racist teacher in 5th grade who was very aggressive towards me. My mother had to actually come in. But going to South Jersey was another level.
So you went from what you thought was not acceptable to in your face unacceptable.
On the first night, my mom bought a Cadillac, brand new Cadillac. She didn't put it in her garage on the first night. She came out the next day. They had keyed that car up so bad. She had to take it back and have it repainted.
And you was living with her then?
Oh no, I never lived there.
You never went to South Jersey?
I went to that's when I went to
your dad.
Yeah, okay. When it was aware that she was purchasing and moving, I was like, I'm not really want to go there.
Okay, and so as you came into Tracy Towers, and you're now with your dad, and at that point it was Kennedy. You started in Kennedy, or you did?
I started at John Peter Tatar Junior High School with Sabrina.
Tatar?
Yeah, I went to
143.
Yeah, 143.
Okay. I'm like, what is Tatar? 143.
I went to 143. That's where Sabrina and I met. I don't know if we met in the building. I think we met in class. And then I found out she lived in the building. I'm not sure about that. I have to check. I have to ask her. But yeah, so I went to junior high school there. And then high school. Right,
okay, so you all were in 143. I'm slightly older than them. Very slightly. That's another story for another day when I had to check them on the 51st Club. But we'll do that later. But I was in Kennedy, I was in high school already, and then the Tracy Towers posse came from 143 Junior High School, and they all came into high school. So that's when we all was together. Mostly. We hung out in the building, but once high school happened is when we all started hanging a little bit more tight.
Right.
So now it's you, your sister Joyce, and your brother John with your dad.
Right. All in a 1-bedroom apartment.
And we squeezing in there coming to visit. I remember that.
Right.
So now transition from high school with your dad. What was your next step? When did you leave Tracy Towers? After high school, what did that look like for you?
So after high school, I went to, I followed you to Virginia State University.
Trojans.
Go Trojans.
Go Trojans.
Right. And, I was
what you remember? VSU. I love it, I love it, I love it.
I still got a VSU picture over there. I pull it out.
Oh, and I got to give a shout out to my flag football girls. Gucci girls represented hard, so hi to all of you guys, and I'm actually in touch with a few of them through social media, so, and supportive as well. Skin Maven, Yolanda Sessom, so she has a married name now, so if I didn't say it, I'm sorry, but she's doing her own thing, and I'd love to sit down and chat with her as well, but so it's, social media has allowed a lot of people to still stay connected.
Yes.
So from Kennedy to Virginia State. Okay.
So Virginia State, my tenure at Virginia State was short. It was short. And I made two lifelong friends there.
I know one.
Paula. And Constance. Remember short, light skin? We called her Peaches. She passed away some years ago.
I don't remember her.
Yeah. Paula and I are still friends. We were texting not too long ago. We don't talk that often, but we just catch up. It's like we never, it's like we talk every week, even though it might not be. Okay. So I made two lifelong friends there, but had to go.
Okay. It's nice to see you. I'm going. And the pictures on the front lawn at Virginia State?
I have some. I should pull it out. Don't pull it out, okay?
Because those hairstyles was crazy.
Crazy. Like this.
No.
I'm one level here.
I'm not confirming any of that. So, Virginia State, and then you came back home?
I came home, and when I came home, my father got me a job at AT&T. Well, he got me an interview. I got my own job.
Right.
He got me the interview.
This is what we do.
Right.
Right.
And I just started working, and I started going to NYU after work. Like I would take like a class.
Well, let me go back for a second.
Okay.
What made you decide to leave Virginia State? Because some people may be watching like, okay, you go to college and then your tenure is short. Why?
Okay, so my grades were good. I actually was on the dean's list. Did you know that?
Well, I didn't because I know I wasn't on it.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I made the dean's list when I was at
But I'm
Virginia
not
State.
surprised. Knowing more of you and who you are, that's not a surprise. But I didn't know that then. No.
Yeah, I left because I was assaulted at Virginia